Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter. We're going to talk about the dual blades today. Just like the sword and shields, is going to be very lightweight, very mobile, and it is going to be a light weapon. So let's start with our gauge. So we have a gauge up there right underneath the sharpness. It is actually going to be filled when we are in our demon mode. This is a special mode for the dual blades, and it is going to increase our damage, and then once the gauge is full, it is going to throw us into archdemon mode. So let's go ahead and talk about our normal Y attacks. We just have normal slashes, nothing crazy going on. We have a lunging strike. After our lunging strike, we have a round slash, and that's gonna do it. Just kidding, not really, because we have our demon mode. Demon mode is going to make things a little bit more fun. So you'll notice right off the bat, our gauge is now glowing. That means this is what we're going to be filling. Our body is glowing, and our stamina is depleting. Also, our swords are backwards because now we are total ninjas. So let's talk about our Y attacks now. So you notice right off the bat, this 6-fold demon slash is completely different from the boring little double slashes we got. And you notice that as I'm hitting, the gauge is actually being filled up. So now that it is actually all the way full, we are in archdemon mode as soon as we come out of demon mode. We'll get to that pretty soon. So Demon Fangs is a very good combo to use because you can actually go through, do a slash or two, and not have to commit to a certain spot. Whereas the main source of your damage is actually going to be a very long animation. It's quite a commitment to a single spot. So we're going to talk about our YB attack. As you can see, our Demon Dance is a very long attack. It does a lot of damage for lightweight weapons, but the downside is that you are stuck here once you use it. Something to note here is that whilst you are doing it, you are still, you are gradually losing stamina, and you might have to evade after an attack. So dual blades are very stamina efficiency dependent. So we can be here, we're gradually losing stamina. Monster's coming at me, I need to evade. I just lost a ton of stamina pulling that off. I may not be able to evade again if I need to. So the other alternative here is to have slinger ammo. So once we get done with any of our attacks, you'll notice up there in the top right it says evade shot. You do need slinger ammo to do this. As you can see, I only have 2 thorn pod. Had I have picked up something like stone, I could evade shot 20 times. So again, let's just go into it, and we're going to evade shot left. And if you look up at the stamina as this happens, you'll notice this is only about half of a normal evade as far as stamina. So again, Demon Fangs, the 6-fold slash, is very good for short animations, quick damage. Whereas your YB attack is going to be a commitment when the monster is down and is going to output a lot of damage. So one more thing, while we're in demon mode, our advancing slashes are a little bit different as well. It's going to turn into a flurry rush, and then we actually get 2 round slashes, and that is going to be a very important attack that we'll get to here in a few minutes. But for now, let's go into archdemon mode. So coming out of demon mode, our swords are going to go forward again. Our swords are glowing, our body's glowing. You probably can't see it anywhere but the pants right now, but we come out of demon mode and suddenly our swords are still glowing. They are forward now, so this means we are in archdemon mode, and the gauge is blinking white, so that means the gauge had been filled and we are in archdemon mode. We no longer have access to normal mode, which is completely fine. It was boring and didn't have a lot of damage, so we only have demon mode and archdemon mode until we run out of archdemon mode. Again, to fill up archdemon, we just need to attack with demon mode, and then we are right back into archdemon. So again, Archdemon Y attacks are the exact same as normal attacks, they just do a tiny bit more damage, and you'll notice that instead of a lunging strike, we actually have the same flurry rush. When we do it, we still only get 1 round slash instead of 2, but that is alright, because we don't want to stay in Archdemon mode for long. Archdemon is only for a tiny bit of damage whilst our stamina is rebuilding. The only other thing that has changed for Archdemon mode is now our YB attack. The old YB attack would be our lunging strike that would swing our 2 swords in and outward, and now it is actually a mini demon dance. This is a very good attack to be doing if you're waiting on your stamina to recharge, to which then you can throw into a demon dance. As far as building our gauge, it is very important to know. Again, now we are out, so we're going to talk about how to fill the gauge the fastest. You'll notice our YB attack, it does a lot of damage, but I'm not filling the gauge super quick. That only did about half of our gauge. You'll notice here, if I actually do a 6-fold, that it'll fill much more quickly. And now it is already maxed out after just one 6-fold slash. So that about does it for the dual blades. We'll go ahead and talk about the skills and then show some gameplay, but first we're going to talk about the round slash grapple. So naturally, grappling is about this slow, is a rising and then a falling slash, and that is fine. It'll drop slinger ammo, and then we can do it again to tenderize. But the thing I want to show you here is actually when we are in demon mode and we do our second round slash, we can now hit left trigger to grapple. Hitting Y will immediately start a spinning slash, and you'll notice it always tenderizes, and it is significantly quicker than grappling. The only downside of this is that you have to be into the monsters wherever you want, and you have to be able to grapple right next to it. So you notice, just to prove that it does always tenderize, we'll do it over here on this side. You'll notice it's not tenderized, and now it is immediately tenderized. This works. You can do it 100 times over. It will always tenderize, and it is very useful, especially for something like Safi or Xeno'jiiva, where its legs are just kind of sitting here, and that is all you have to attack, other than its chest and head, which are not always on the ground. With all that said and done, let's get into some of the skills. Let's start off with Constitution. So Constitution is going to be a stamina-related skill that reduces stamina depletion when you are blocking or evading. This is going to help you a lot. The dual blades animation is more of a dash than a dodge roll, and that is actually pretty helpful at times, especially if you're running evade extender. So evading around a bunch whilst you are in demon mode, you're going to be using a lot of stamina. So this Constitution up to level 5 is going to reduce the stamina depletion by 50% only for evading. Now let's look at Marathon Runner. So this is going to slow down the stamina depletion for something that is continuous, such as running around. So this is going to be sprinting and your gradual reduction from demon mode. So this is going to reduce it by 15% up to 50%. So using Marathon Runner in tandem with Constitution is actually going to save you a ton of stamina, and it's going to help you play a little bit more offensively because you have the stamina to do so. The final stamina skill we're going to look at is going to be the Stamina Surge. So this one's actually going to speed up your stamina recovery. This is going to go from 10% faster to 30% faster, and this is a nice 3-point skill to have. I would say usually you would use this maybe on like a bow or something, and I would probably stick to Marathon Runner and Constitution on dual blades and then just build straight offensively. But that is just a personal preference. You can totally throw Stamina Surge on a build if you find you're running out of stamina a lot quicker. And that about does it for skills. The only things you really need to worry about are your stamina, because with every build I recommend that you build offensively, be it Agitator, Critical Eye, Attack Boost, Latin Power, whatever it is. Build the way you want to for offense, and then throw in these extra stamina skills if you have the slots for them. If you're running something like the Fatalis armor, you should totally have the slots for it after throwing in all of your attack and stuff. So definitely try to get Constitution if you have the 5 points, or Marathon Runner if you have the 3 points for it. Let's go ahead and look at some gameplay. something I forgot to mention earlier was the importance of utilizing your aerial attacks with this weapon. So once you get to a slope, you can either hit B to slide down it with your weapon out and it will take you to this attack, or you can actually dash with your weapon out off a ledge and it will throw you towards the monster. And if you get close enough to it, you can actually take your blades and turn into a little fidget spinner like Levi Ackerman in Attack on Titan and just go up and down this thing's body. This works on every monster, but the best ones are obviously the longer monsters. So for like the second level of Safi Jiva, this is going to be amazing because he has ledges all around him and you can just go all the way up and down his head to tail multiple times for a ton of damage.